Creepiness has a formula. Every 1,000 meters, the ocean removes one thing that life on the surface takes for granted, and whatever is still alive down there has already learned to live without it. By the bottom, almost nothing is left. Not light, not warmth, not food, not even the idea of having your own body. About a quarter of the ocean floor has been mapped in real detail. 3/4 of it, the largest surface on this planet, has never been looked at. More people have been to space than to the deepest point in the sea. And the reason is not money. Space is simply easier to survive. 200 meters down, the first thing goes: sunlight. Around 1% of it makes it this far, enough to see a silhouette above you, never enough to grow a plant, so everything here hunts by looking up. The barreleye fish took that literally. Its entire head is a transparent dome, clear fluid you can see straight through and inside it. 2 barrel-shaped eyes rotate within its own skull, aiming upward through its forehead. When the first specimens came up in nets, biologists assumed the heads had burst on the way. It took video from a research submersible in 2004 to prove the transparency was normal. At 1,000 meters, the water hits about 4 degrees and stays there forever. Oxygen thins out, and roughly 9 out of 10 animals here make their own light, because light has become the only way to communicate, hunt, or lie. The dragonfish lies best. Its body is jet black. It absorbs almost every wavelength that hits it, but it produces red light, and it can see red light at a depth where practically nothing else can. It hunts using a beam its prey has no organ to detect. The vampire squid solves the problem differently. It survives in oxygen as low as 3% of surface levels, conditions that would kill almost anything else. Threatened, it turns itself inside out, pulls its webbed arms over its own body like a cloak, and sprays glowing mucus into the dark as a decoy. Below this, there is no food being made. Nothing grows without light, so nothing is produced. It only falls. Skin, bones, waste, plankton, entire dead whales drifting down in a constant slow snow. That is the food supply. An entire ecosystem, the largest on Earth, is a queue for corpses. Giant isopods live here. Armored scavengers the size of a football. They can go years between meals, motionless, waiting for something above them to die. One in captivity refused food for 5 years and survived it. The only exception is where the seafloor cracks open. Hydrothermal vents push out water above 400 degrees, and around them whole colonies live on chemicals instead of sunlight. 2-meter tube worms, white crabs, life that never needed a sun at all, which quietly changes the question of where else in the universe life could be hiding. Around 4,000 meters, the water crosses a line called the carbonate compensation depth. Below it, calcium carbonate simply dissolves, which means shells stop existing. The ocean eats the armor off anything that tries to wear it, so bodies stop being solid. Almost everything down here is soft, gelatinous, built mostly from water, because water is the only structure the pressure cannot crush. And then there are the xenophyophores, found on the floor of the Mariana Trench, single-celled organisms grown to the size of a dinner plate. One cell, plate-sized, in total darkness under 8 tons of pressure per square inch. The last thing the ocean takes is the body itself. The female anglerfish carries a glowing lure on her forehead and swallows prey twice her size. The male does something worse. He finds her, bites down, and never releases. His body fuses into her skin. His organs dissolve. He loses his eyes, his fins, his digestive system, everything except the part that reproduces. Researchers have documented single females carrying 6 fused males at once. He does not die. He stops being a separate animal. Below 6,000 meters is the Haddle Zone, named after the god of the underworld. The deepest fish ever filmed was recorded at 8,336 meters in a trench off Japan. A snailfish with a cartilage skeleton, because bone turns brittle under that load and organs visible through its skin. And in the deepest trench on the planet, 11 kilometers down, scientists pulled up tiny shrimp like amphipods and found plastic in their tissue. The most remote place on Earth. Nobody has been there. We arrived anyway. The ocean does not get creepier the deeper you go. It gets more honest about how much of you was optional. And 3/4 of it is still unmapped, which has no obligation to be any less strange than the quarter we have seen.